Thought I'd come down to the beach and give you another little chat regarding what vehicles you can find in different countries. So currently in Senegal, we've come about an hour south of the capital city, Dakar. It's a bit of a tourist spot where we are, although you will see fishing boats and stuff behind me, but the hotel we're staying in, a bit of a hippie kind of place, so I imagine a lot of people come here just to chill out and get away from it all. So we're quite away from the road, so I can't really give you a hands-on or an eyes-on view of what vehicles you're going to see. But we've driven all the way up to St. Louis, right up on the Mauritanian border, driven all the way through Dakar, so most of my time here has been spent driving. So I've had a good idea of what I'm seeing on the roads. So Senegal, if you're going to do an overland trip to Senegal, what is a good vehicle to take? Now, a few people have commented from my previous post, why didn't you mention Land Rovers, and particularly those that are a bit more bush mechanic friendly, that can be fixed in the field quite easily, very mechanical, non-electronic. Now that's fine to take one of those vehicles if you are very good mechanically and if you can carry enough spares. What I'm mainly referring to are those people that aren't super mechanics, it's not their day-to-day job, and they can't carry every single spare going. So they will be relying on in-country mechanical knowledge and skills, and also the ease and availability of spares. What you don't want is to have to sit for somewhere for 2, 3, 4 days, maybe longer, waiting for something to be FedExed in from the UK because you've got a particularly weird vehicle. It's just gonna ruin your trip. So what do the Senegalese drive? Well, four-wheel drives, again, it's literally Toyotas. Not as many as, certainly not as many 4x4s as you're going to find in Mauritania, because the road network is very good. Particularly around Dakar, their motorways, I would say, are of better quality, and this is not me messing around here, it's definitely of better quality than you will find in the UK. Built by the French, no doubt, or certainly with very close French guidance. You almost imagine you're actually on a French motorway. So super smooth, péages, wide, relatively clean for this part of the world. So the need for 4x4s is not as critical as in Mauritania. But those that we do see that are heading out into the more remote areas, it's Toyotas, and it's a kind of a mix between Hiluxes, Land Cruiser Colorados, or Prados as they're known, and Land Cruiser Amazons, the 100 and 200 series. Still haven't seen any 80 series Land Cruisers, haven't seen any 300 series Land Cruisers, but the Prado's quite popular, as is the Hilux. Now that's probably followed up on the pickup side with Mitsubishi L200s. There aren't many Nissan Navaras. There may be some of the older ones, but the one that shares its kind of platform with the Pathfinder, the ones that break their back quite easily, haven't seen any of those. A few RAV4s. I thought we'd see some Honda CRVs. Haven't seen a single Honda car of any type since we've been here. What else? Quite a lot of Jeeps. Ford Rangers are quite popular. No Land Rovers. Well, I say no Land Rovers. I've seen one Land Rover. It was an old Defender run by the Army. No civilian Defenders at all. We've seen a couple of Freelander ones up towards St. Louis. That's a bit more of a remote area. And when you're in the city, obviously you're going to see a lot more expensive vehicles. So we did see a couple of Range Rover Sports. Don't expect to bring a Land Rover Defender over here and get parts for it. I've not seen a single discovery of any type, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 since we've been here. So again, yep, you might be the greatest Land Rover lover in the world, but don't come to this part of the world and expect you're going to get parts and someone to be able to fix it. Maybe I'm sure someone in the city can, but out of the city, you're on your own. You've got to either get it towed or trailered into Dakar to get it fixed at huge expense, time and inconvenience. So two-wheel drive, what are we mainly seeing? Peugeot. Peugeot is the #1 two-wheel drive brand in this country. That is kind of followed probably closely second by Renault. So the Peugeots we're seeing, the absolute workhorse is the 505 Estate, which is an old car and very collectible now in the UK, and you're not going to pick that up for bang on money. So probably wouldn't even go down that route. That's been replaced by the 405, which you will occasionally come across them in the UK. Not many, but the 406 is quite common, but obviously more complicated. You really want the older the vehicle, the better. It's more mechanical, better chance of the locals helping you fix it. A few things like the 306, 307, 305, 205, 206, but the 5 series, 205, 305 and 405 are all quite rare and collectible in the UK. Another big one that you're going to see a lot of is Renaults. The Renault 25 is like their main taxi. So there's the Renault 18, the 21 and the 25. But again, any Renault with a number, not a name, is very rare in the UK and probably quite collectible. So that's a bit of a non-starter. Not really seeing anything else, any Renault with a name, certainly not out in the sticks. And then the other option is Toyota again. Not as prolific as Peugeots and Renaults, but quite a lot of Toyotas. So we're looking at the Corolla, the Carina, the Avensis, what else is, and the, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, another C name. But anyway, it's that kind of one. You don't see too many city cars out in the sticks. They're too small to be of any use. Hello, hello. So yeah, that's basically what you're going to find. It's Toyotas for your 4x4s, maybe some Mitsubishis. That would be it on the 4x4 front realistically. On the two-wheel drive front, I would probably be looking at something like a Peugeot 405, 406. 405 if you can get it, 406 if you can't, something along those lines. Or just go down the oldest Toyota you can find is the way to go. So hopefully that will be of some use to you, to any of you heading out to Senegal, but all of this West Africa region, they're by and large all ex-French colonies, therefore still very close ties with France. They all speak French, and it's going to be French cars that you're primarily going to see. Haven't seen any Citroens, probably because their suspension system is far too complicated, even though they are part of the same group as Peugeot. Peugeot is the number one. That seems to be the strongest and most reliable. If it wasn't strong and reliable, it would be ditched very quickly. In the UK, people can have Land Rovers because they're, not so much fashion accessories, but they're hobby vehicles. It breaks down, you can take it to somebody to fix it, he'll give you a courtesy car, it's all okay. Here, it's your livelihood. If a brand is known to be unreliable, it will just get ditched immediately. They do not have time to mess around. That's why you do not see Land Rovers in this part of the world. Moving into Ghana, which was a former British colony, my understanding from my geography lessons, we may have a bit more of a British influence, but as it stands, French all the way, Peugeot. Hope that helps. Cheers.